As the battle for $500,000 rages on, the jury house is plotting one final revenge. Who will they crown the winner of Big Brother? Will they vote with sympathy or spite? We'll find out soon enough. But first, another house guest is evicted. Plus, from BB19, Cameron Hurd joins us on the panel. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Big Brother After Show.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Look, it's like the beats on Instagram.
I need you to do that the whole show.
I don't really.
All we need is we need the jury to just come through the door right now.
Good evening, guys. I'm Bryce McLeay. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Big Brother After Show. We have a lot to cover in a very short amount of time, so let me get started with my jury house. Let's start over with wait, Morgan, why are you so far away?
Bryce,
you're usually sitting right next to me.
I know you're very sad, but
she comes back from Hawaii and wants to have nothing to do with me.
I'm over Bryce.
Yeah, it's like Hawaii totally changed Morgan. Anyway, let's start with Jessica Williams here.
What's up? I'm Jessica Williams, as you just said, and we have a Final Four deal here.
Yeah.
Except Charles isn't.
I was about to say
Charles is out of our
isn't here.
Charles
Can
is
we
out of
buzz
our
out?
lives.
Can we vote to evict him?
Out.
He's
Sorry,
been evicted.
Charles.
Charles has been evicted. I'm sorry.
So
Well,
sad.
And
I'm back. Morgan Willett here. I missed you guys last week.
Yeah.
I'm so sad I missed last week because the battle back was awesome.
Yeah.
I was watching it from my phone on the beach. What a rough life.
yeah,
Casually.
tough.
But it is
so harsh.
so good to be back. And yeah,
Yes,
let's
well,
chat.
and we also have a very special guest coming on. We are going to be Skyping with BB19's Cameron Hurd, as I mentioned, so we'll get him on the phone very shortly. But once again, we are covering tonight's episode, so if you are on the West Coast, please take a sabbatical and come back when the show is over, when you've watched
or
the broadcast
just go
show.
get a drink.
I mean, I don't know what you can do. Just pass the time. You only have a half hour basically left. So first. Another level 6 blindside, hence the music. So what were Julie's thoughts and predictions on how Scotty would re-enter the game after last week? We'll let you know her thoughts right after these messages from AfterBuzz TV.
Oh, guys. Well, hello, AfterBuzzers. Our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows. I said all of them. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there's no network that works harder to serve TV fans. But we, this panel, and us, need your help. We're asking for you to please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that is tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional, because we're living in 2018. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz TV YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did in the comments, and we will thank you on air, specifically us here. For now, thanks for being the best fans and helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Oh, thank you, Morgan.
You're so welcome.
All right, so he is a former house guest from Big Brother 19. Please welcome Cameron Hurd. Thank you for being here.
Hey.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. I mean, there are other people here too, so I mean, just so you know, it's
We
not
all
just
thank
me.
you.
Yeah, we all thank you. All right, so let's get started. Because it's so timely, I thought we would start with a segment that we like to call Chen Chatter.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah, hold your breath. This is the segment where we discuss things host Julie Chen has said in the press about Big Brother gameplay and production. So, last week, Entertainment Weekly asked Julie, how do you think Scotty will do now that he is back in the house after winning the Battle Back competition? Do you think he will just get picked off again, or does he have a chance to do some damage? She said, well, the numbers are not good for him and anyone he is close to. Probably too late to make inroads with any of the people in power. It's about numbers in the game. That being said, he's pretty coordinated, and if he can win competitions, then he has a chance. So, Cameron, what, if anything, should Scotty have done differently coming back into the house?
I think he should have talked with people. I saw a lot of the time he wasn't really even talking to the house guests that he was in there with. He just thought that he was good because Tyler said he was the pawn, and Tyler didn't even have a vote this week, so I don't know why he felt so secure in that aspect. He should have been trying to build bonds like Haley was. Haley was like cuddling up with Casey in the bed, and she built like bonds that way. Tyler was never making any like actual bonds. He was just making superficial bonds, and I think that's the reason why he ended up going this week. Besides the fact that he's like super sketchy and flaky.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he is super sketch. I mean, you don't know what the guy is thinking. He hit it when he told Julie, he's like, I'm unpredictable. That's why. But I mean, honestly, let's keep it real. He was evicted
Unanimously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Twice.
Anonymously.
Twice. The only person this
Right.
season, right?
Yeah.
But literally, like, you got evicted. You won the battle back. You win or you go back home. It's as simple as that. So he's back outside of the house because he did not win the HOH, because he did not win the veto.
Right.
And there it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he summed it up well when tonight, sorry, spoiler alert, when Julie talked to him, she was
Well,
like,
we already told you to leave. And so
yeah, so, like, that's your fault if you stayed.
Yeah.
This is an after show. Watch it
Whenever
after.
she asked him, she's like, well, what did you do? Like, and he's like, I talked to Tyler for an hour and a half. Like, we made jokes, and I was like, how on earth is that, like, securing your spot in the house? You should be talking to everyone, and especially the people who have votes. Tyler's gonna tell you, obviously, whatever you want, and it irritates me more than anything, because I'm Team Tyler very much, but he was in the jury house with all of these people who were like, Tyler is the issue. Tyler. And then Scotty goes immediately back in the house and is like, I'm gonna work with Tyler.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
That's
get
funny.
Tyler is somebody like you think you could work with, but it's like he didn't listen at all, and that's what irks me the most.
But
Yeah.
did
Big
he?
Brother is like primarily a social game, and you didn't get much social game out of Scotty. Like he would play chess by himself, and he wouldn't really talk to people that weren't in his alliance, and that's where his game crumbled. And he never established like good relationships with Casey or Brett, and yeah, that's the reason he's leaving. He would always come in second in competitions, and he was a competition threat that way.
Yeah.
He was just not playing very, very well, and I'm actually happy to see him go. Out of
Me
the
too.
people left in the house, I didn't like him.
Yeah.
I
Same.
agree.
But do you think, I mean, I don't mean to harp on this, but the fact is that once he lost that competition, do you think that really sealed his fate? I mean, was there anything that he really could have done to get out of that mess?
I'm sorry, which competition, the veto or the HOH?
Sorry, well, either one, but I mean, I guess winning after losing the HOH, he's going to have to start working at that point. So I guess maybe right there.
Yeah, I don't think your game is over at that point, but he made a bunch of social game issues. Like he's telling Haley that they told him he was the pawn.
Yeah.
And Haley is his own his
Right,
only
you wanna
alliance
say that.
member
Right.
in the game, which is a problem because she's the other one on the block with him. He just made a lot of social game blunders, and I feel like if he would have like made good relationships, talked about what they're talking about in the jury house a little bit, played the social game a little bit more, he would have probably stayed in the house. But
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, though, and I'm surprised they didn't mention this in the episode, and I don't know if you heard about this, Cameron, but last night, apparently there was like a big to-do between Brett and Haley, and it was so
When she
petty.
got drunk?
She got drunk. She like sprayed him with the hose. He got mad. She started crying, and he made a comment. He's like, "I wouldn't do that if I was you. I'm not the one sitting on the block." And she like,
Oh my
she
God.
got
From a
Oh my
hose?
God.
yeah. So she like sprayed him with water. Like she was drunk. I don't know.
Well, people
Sounds
have-
flirty to me.
He was passive aggressive
Yeah.
AF, but she shouldn't have made that big of a deal. So she runs up to the HOH like bawling. Angela and Casey go to comfort her, and so Brett gets all sorts of upset about that. So for a hot minute, JC and Brett were thinking about flipping and then keeping Scotty.
So
And I
emotional.
really thought that was
God.
gonna like actually happen, and I thought maybe that would be Scotty's only fighting chance, but clearly
He did not
it
take
got
advantage of that.
mended
Right.
this morning, and I mean they didn't even mention it in the
Also-
episode, but
Yeah,
worth
but
noting.
also people were saying that even I remember when they got the alcohol last night. I was looking on Twitter and stuff, and people were saying like she better not get drunk, like Haley better not get drunk
And
because
what
she's
did she
gotten that a
do?
couple of times.
Really, that's a thing.
But so Scotty did say something interesting last night. He told Haley that level 6 would be stupid not to take one of them to the end because they would only have 4 votes between, if they have, it would be 4 votes, they'd need 5 to win. So
Such a dumb.
Do you guys? Well, yeah. So what do you think? What do you make of that, Cameron? Do you think he's right or not?
That's ridiculous. That's the worst argument ever. It's like, oh, bring us to the end because we're guaranteed 4 votes.
Yeah.
Why would I do that under any circumstance at all? I'm getting rid of both of you guys. I liked what Brett did this episode where he was like talking with Scotty about what the goodbye messages were. But I feel like he approached how to deal with Angela in the wrong way. If I was him, I would want to bring Angela to the end of the final 2. But it looks like he wants to get rid of Angela to do their bidding for them. It's just 2 different takes on what to do. And
wait, so you're saying you're just to clarify, you're saying that that Brett was saying that because the jury house can't stand Angela, that he wants to get rid of her and give them what they want.
Yeah, and I don't think that's what he should do. I think he should try to end up in the final 2 with Angela because they hate him and her the same.
Right.
I think everyone should bring Angela to the final 2.
Yeah.
If anyone is smart, they will bring her because everyone in the jury house hates her.
Well,
yeah, it's a smart play. And I'm sorry, Brett, he tries to be smart, and for a second, I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then he disappoints. But even in that same thought of him saying like, oh, I should get out Angela to please the jury member, he was like, oh, well, we should target Angela, but I'm going to let JC do it so I wouldn't get blood on my hands.
Right.
Well, isn't that the whole point behind this whole thing?
Yes,
so that you could hand him over.
Yeah.
Brett.
I mean, they're both trying to outsmart each other, but they're not. But I did want to ask you guys, what did you make of Brett's both goodbye message, but Brett's goodbye message where he went against Tyler and said, oh, Tyler got to him first. Sorry,
Good.
Scotty.
I think it's smart. I think it's so smart because right now everyone is loving Tyler, and Tyler seemingly has everyone in his pocket. So I've been like almost waiting for that. Like, make your goodbye messages nice, but also it couldn't hurt to turn people against others in the house. That's what I would do.
But he has a final 2 with him. I mean, is there
exactly.
no loyalty?
That is the point. He has a final 2, so of course you want to throw your other 2 of the final 2 under the bus so people will go for you. But Tyler has gone through this game unscathed for like the most part.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's so impressive how he's played and balanced, jury and done different things. However, when people start to turn on you, he's the one that will take the fall. He would be the Paul.
Yeah.
Like everyone, he played the best game, but everyone hates him at the end when they find out his lies. And just one more thing, he helped in that whole rhyme and rhythm of the goodbye messages by revealing that he had the power app.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you guys. What did you think of Go Tell Your Friends? What did you think, Cameron?
I feel like Tyler is like, this is the downfall of Tyler. He's getting a little too cocky in his goodbye messages. He felt a little snarky when he was telling Scotty, like, yeah, actually, I've been running the place. That's the reason you're out of there. There's just a lot that he's doing wrong now, like in the goodbye messages, and even at the very end where he's like, yeah, I won the power app and I didn't even need it. I just feel like he said the words in the wrong way. Like there's a way for him to say it and he said it wrong. And it left Scotty salty, and now Scotty's like, I'm not telling them that. Like you could see that he didn't take it the right way.
Well, and you heard what Derek Levasseur said, which was you have to make sure to make he said, and with the goodbye messages, you want to make them feel good because they're going to be sitting in that jury house stewing about whatever you said, and if you made them feel better, then they're going to remember that.
It's almost like I feel like this season everyone's competing to have the better speech, the more snarky like goodbye message, and I don't understand why. Like Scotty's speech, I truly don't understand what benefit that had at all. And all it did was get bleeped out. I don't even know what he said.
Right. And
don't come at me with Brett's speeches. I love his speeches.
Oh,
I want him to be able to block everyone.
I live for the speeches, but I'm just saying I don't think it's smart.
But he knew he was going, so he was probably like, screw it, F you all. But one thing about what Tyler said about the Power App, honestly, that was such an amazing gameplay. He should have saved that nugget to present it in his final speeches on finale night and just package it like, hey, I played such a good game. I did have this. Sorry if, I didn't admit to it, but it's because I never used it, so I didn't have to put any of you in danger.
That's smart.
So you flip it in a way that it shows benefit to everyone.
But Scotty told Julie that he's not going to tell the jury anything.
You know, Scotty's gonna tell them because they all don't like Tyler, and he's gonna be like the cool guy who's like, I got this information. Like, want me to tell you?
It's so ridiculous.
I am not Team Scotty, guys.
Morgan was like cringing every time he like spoke or looked at the camera or anything.
I'm sorry, but like sit on the couch to give your speech. You do not need to stand up
I
and like
know.
sit on top of it.
It's so rude. Just rude. So Scotty mentioned that, like, as we talked at the top of the show, Scotty mentioned that the jury house is plotting, one final revenge, deciding who's going to win. Big Brother, if it's all 5 of them, they basically control the vote. So if the jury is nearly all fondue, as you so lovingly call that
mushy.
Alliance, fondue as
And melting.
Faute,
They're
whatever.
mushy
They're
and melting
mushy
apart. That's why.
Who do you think they choose in this scenario? So say the jury is, Haley gets out this week, whatever. So who do they choose in this scenario to win?
Like the final?
Yeah, like if it's
KC.
you think it's
Everybody
JC?
likes KC in that. I feel like
Oh.
KC is
Casey or JC?
Casey.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
The
All
one
right.
that's HOH.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Because she hasn't done anything offensive to any of them. She's primarily gotten along socially with all of them. She hasn't really been too flashy in her gameplay. I feel like she's played the most all-around game. You could point to her social game, to being in level 6, and her strength in the competitions. I feel like Casey is the best positioned to win at this point.
Morgan, do you have?
I agree with that statement. That's exactly what I said when we were watching
Is this
it.
why
I think
Cameron? You love Cameron so much. This is
Cameron, we're on the same
Cameron's-
brainwave here. No, I think
Cameron Morgan is your biggest fan. as you know.
Hashtag Team Cameron. I said that all Big Brother 19, and I will say it forever. But no, I think at this point, Casey is winning this game.
What do you think, Jessica?
Yeah, I agree. I just
You don't have to say that she has to win.
No, but I
you know.
don't. How about I tell you who I don't want to win?
Yeah,
I don't
who
want
do-
JC to win,
No.
and I don't want Angela to win.
Which I don't think either of them would.
Yeah, but let me tell you who our live chat wants to
Yes,
win.
yes.
Yes. So, let's see. Brenna J. Rock said that I would totally be okay with Brett winning if he could make it good against Angela and Tyler at the end, because they are so unlikable even though they win comps. I think maybe saying like if he took them to the end. Let's see, Max727 said, I hope that Tyler doesn't end up like Paul, because the jury members might not vote with him if they find out that he's been lying to every single one of them. And let's see, yeah, that's pretty much it. Sierra said that Scotty's speech was iconic.
Oh, really? Well, at least somebody liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give us the transcript.
Well, and true, I agree with you, Cameron. I think, but I was just thinking as we were talking, I don't think I've ever seen a Casey goodbye message. Like I feel like she's so like either middle of the road, level playing field, whatever, that it doesn't. She's such a non-threatening.
But those are the people
Yeah,
that
you're
win.
right, you're
Like
right.
as
No,
much as we
you're
love
right.
the Tylers and they're so entertaining to see them play such a good game, those people don't win. And like you want to go in there and be this iconic player, but when in reality, like you kind of want to be the boring one, because
Yeah.
the boring people get to the end.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
she is
Not saying that I was
floater.
boring.
No, she's a floater in the she's a floater in the best way, because I like it when people float, stay under the radar, and then they come to play.
Yeah.
And like to me, I'm like, you can look at Casey and you can tell that she's a beast. So what I like about her is that she wins when she has to,
Yeah.
and that's why she's won the past 2 vetoes in this HOH.
Well, and she's loyal. I mean, you can't say that she's total floater because she is loyal to her alliance.
Is loyal a skill set that
I think
exempts
so.
you
Well,
from
because,
being a floater?
Well, that's what Rachel was saying. I don't know if that's if she's like the I think she is the
floater
queen.
queen.
I think she is the queen of the floaters. But she was saying how she was calling people floaters who are wishy-washy, who are going like Scotty
who
was a floater
floats
because he was
from
going
both sides,
from both sides of the house, because
perhaps.
they're just like trying to
There could be two
stay
terms.
afloat.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
So I think either way.
I don't think Casey is a floater. She's been playing the game hard, and she has established her allies. Sam is more of a floater. JC is more of a floater. In this point, I feel like Casey's been very she's held her position in the house for the entirety of the season. So yeah, I think that she is way better than like given that title of a floater.
Yeah.
I think that because she's won recently, though, but to be with all honesty, if she had not won 3 comps, then she would still be on the same level as JC. JC has played an amazing social game. He's played puppet master in the sense of, I wouldn't say puppet master, but in whatever, whispering in people's ears and planting seeds. So he's a good gardener. But yeah, so I think because Casey she eliminates that term.
Yeah.
But Casey also won the hacker competition and prevented anybody in her alliance from going home that week. Somebody in level 6 would have gone, and then it's like a butterfly effect. What would have happened? So she's put up with her alliance. Like, she showed up and played the game when she's had to.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a really
I
good
think
point.
people forget that she won that hacker comp.
I did until you just said it. Until you just said it. Well, there was a lot of talk about the future this week, since everybody obviously knew that Scotty was going home, except for Scotty himself.
Yeah.
But JC and Brad are starting to kind of turn their attention toward Angela and Casey right now. That and obviously now with Casey being HOH, this may like change things for them. But do you guys think that Brett will like compare notes with Tyler about JC wanting to go? I mean, he's already been pretty vocal to Tyler, but what is the best plan of action for these two moving forward, for Brett and JC? Because they are at the bottom, I think.
I think their best bet is to start flipping. Somebody's got to.
Well, who do you think is going to be first to flip?
I think Brett. I think Brett is on the brink, and I think if he gets the opportunity, he will. Because it sounded like up until last night, like him and JC were fully on board to flip this thing. So I think he's thinking. I think he knows he's on the outside. And I mean, honestly, I'm ready to see level 6 turn on each other. I think it's getting really dull until somebody does decide to flip. So I'm ready, and I think Brett will make the first move.
Yeah.
I also think that Brett was thinking about flipping. He like sprinted for the HOH this week when Casey was like jogging her way to the end, because he was only a second behind her, and the only reason he wanted to win is so that way he could take a stab at Angela and Casey.
Really?
So yeah, I definitely see Brett and JC trying to muster up some courage to take on level 6. They have to do it now. They have to do. There's only 7 people left in the house, and 4 of them are level 6 members. So you got to start playing.
So
you got to start turning.
Where do Haley and Sam fall in this, Cameron? Do you think that they're?
They're getting nominated this week. That's where they fall. There's no way anybody else gets nominated.
But do you keep them around as sort of padding, or
no?
You let them go. You cut them loose.
For Casey?
Well, not for Casey. For Brett and JC. I mean, say that somehow like they convince like who, if Haley and Sam are being nominated, who is a better person to have stay for Brett and JC?
Haley.
Yeah, I would think Haley. I feel like Sam just does literally whatever Tyler wants.
Yeah,
And
that's
nothing
true.
at the same time. Like she does absolutely
She does
nothing.
clean the house, all right, you guys. She makes the bed. She cleans the sink. She cleans the shower.
God,
she
that
does her
sounds
hair.
so miserable.
But
But
Haley
yeah,
is
I-
also,
She makes herself a lemon pound cake.
Right.
Sorry. Keep
Oh,
going,
sorry.
Cameron.
Yeah, Haley is also like a lone wolf in this game. Like JC has like allies like Tyler that he talks to all the time. Like you need somebody like Haley if you're trying to start a regime and like overthrow the others. You have to keep Haley in that house, and it's possible if you guys win the veto.
It's
Yeah.
something that's really interesting about level 6 and why I feel that they have been so successful is that they have stuck to their alliance. Like I get so frustrated in previous seasons when people turn on their own alliance members so early.
Yeah.
It's like the goal should be
Caitlyn.
everyone else. Right. Yeah.
Third Eye
Swaggy,
Center.
second week. Like, come on. Don't turn on your own alliance, you know? So I was a little surprised to hear the talk between Brett and JC just because I'm like, okay, you still got people to get out. I would targeted JC if I was Angela, just for the sake of privacy, because he is so annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Like the continually entering into the room. But now that Casey, I agree with Morgan. Like I wanted to win so we can shake up. But now Casey, it's like,
I know it's just the same old.
Yeah.
I don't know what she can even do, but so Cameron, who do you think the smartest person left in the house is?
The smartest person, game-wise, and Tyler. Tyler's been playing every angle possible. If he wins HOH from here on out, like he's got allies and everybody wants to take him to the final 2. He set himself up real pretty at the final 7, and he's blowing my mind away. I didn't think he would be able to do it.
But that being said, too, I mean, so he has 4 final 2 deals with, let's see, who are they? Casey, JC, Sam, and Brett. And obviously he's really close to Angela. They talked about it on the live show. I'm wondering, do people really think that they can beat him in the end?
It could blow up like it did for Dr. Will and Boogie in season 7, where all of a sudden the final 2 girls compared notes and they realized that Dr. Will and Boogie were lying to them the whole time. And it could totally happen to Tyler at Final Four, Final Five, where everybody's like, you know what? All it just takes is one sentence and Tyler's out the door because he's been playing everybody and they don't like that. So it could totally happen. I thought it would have happened already, but he's been able to like avoid talking game with certain people. Like Haley mentioned, he stays in a bush and just hides around it, like beats the bush. And yeah, Tyler is doing a good job at like playing chess with his words and not saying what he doesn't need to say and revealing info. He's playing great right now.
And he's a team player because he literally took one for the team this week. I mean, his best move would have been to get Haley out because literally, I don't get it, but she is the only one that is onto him.
Yeah,
like,
she's
it's
the
crazy.
only one.
The only one. But no, I mean, his best move, honestly, after he gets Haley out, is just to lay low because once he starts winning more and more comps, he has to show his cards.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it's
Especially HOH.
Yeah.
You know, if he's going to have to nominate people, that's not going to be good for him.
Yep.
Well, Morgan, someone I saw on your post, Columbia Kids 2 asked you if
he
or how,
loves to troll me. Loves it.
How Tyler took a picture with you and Alex.
Wow,
do you wanna tell that
Columbia
story?
Kids 2, if you had seen my previous tweets, which I know that you did. I know you did, because I know you liked them.
stalker.
So Tyler obviously auditioned for my season, made it to the finals. I was ironically sitting right next to him in our little holding room, except he looked very, very different.
Ow.
He was so tan, had no curly hair, had a buzzed head, was wearing a hot pink like pop polo with like the
So that's
collar
why he didn't get
popped.
cast. A double popped collar.
He grew all that hair in a year?
I guess, because he had like a buzz cut. Like, it was short.
What was he, 19?
Yeah, because I was 21. So he must have been 21.
Okay, your season. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
So,
2 years.
and then we met up in San Diego, and he was a Boss Masters fan, and the rest is history. And now
Nice.
he's great. He's
Well,
great.
that's a great story.
Columbia Kids too. So silly.
So, Cameron, of all the people left in the house, like, has anybody made a game-winning move aside from maybe Tyler, I guess? But has there been a game-winning move so far, or is that yet to be determined?
I think there's still a lot of game to be played. I really want a Brett win. I think he's been the most entertaining house guest this season. And I think that just the way he carries himself in the house, he could say that he was like a double agent. And if he can pull off this uprising against level 6, then he solidifies himself like as like one of the better players to ever play this game. That's who I want to win. And I feel like if he can get to the final 2, he deserves the win.
Question.
What do you guys think?
Wait, hang on. While we're on this Brett thing, because I want your opinion, Cameron. So a lot of people on social media are talking about Brett for America's favorite player. People love him. But a lot of the pre-jurors, like Caitlin and Rachel, are very adamant that people do not vote for him because he has supposedly been, like, talking a lot of shit in the house and, like, dragging women. And I don't know. I feel like everyone in that house talks shit about everyone. That's my opinion. I know I did. So, Cameron, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think he deserves, like, no America's favorite player for that?
No, that's ridiculous. The only thing that these people have to bond with is just like, oh, let's talk crap about Rachel, Winston, everybody, Steve. Like, that's all they have to go upon, and then that builds relationships closer because you're bonding like through that like social network. It's just that's not a problem to me that he's talking crap about each other. I feel like Rachel is salty that she's not in the house and she's being talked about poorly. I think that's ridiculous, and I don't think anybody's going to have their votes swayed anyway by what Rachel tweets online.
Yeah, I'm on your side with that, but I was just curious because it seems like alumni are like picking sides with that one, so I was very curious.
But I would like to answer your question about the best game move.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I really do think that JC convincing Fessy to nominate and evict Scotty
Yeah,
was an epic
that's
move
a
that
really good
literally
move.
changed the trajectory of the game, because it still would have been Haley, Fess, and Scotty at least trying,
Yeah.
without, and then someone could have, if they would have got a level 6 member, another Hive member could have been battled back in,
Yes.
and they would have been solid in numbers. But that is the one move to me that I'm like, screwed. It's a sinking ship aboard.
Wow, that's good. That's a really
I
good
think people
answer.
forget about JC a lot. I want to see JC win something though. Like I'm very curious
Yeah.
what he would do. So I need JC and Brett to win some power.
Yeah,
Right.
I
And
agree.
I kind of agree with you guys. I think if whoever can get Tyler out should deserve
That-
to
yeah,
win.
I agree. I
Deserve
think
to
they
win.
should
It's
win
kind
the
of like
game.
Steve Moses, like when he got Vanessa or whatever. I don't know if Vanessa's as good as Tyler is, but who's playing the worst game of the season, Cameron? It can be anybody. It can any house guest.
I'm just gonna go with house guests that are still in the house.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I would say Sam.
Yep.
Sam is definitely playing the most
Yeah.
reckless. She doesn't really even talk game. She gets uncomfortable when people do talk game. When she is HOH, she nominates people like based strictly on flirting.
Right.
She nominated Haley and Angela because they flirt with the guys, and so that's ridiculous to me. She doesn't have a good social game. She only has one final two, and that's with Tyler, who has many final twos. She's just the worst player in this, and when Derek is listing off attributes on why everybody should win this episode, he conveniently forgot about Sam. He even said
Oh.
stuff about Scotty, who he knew was gonna get evicted. So
Yeah.
Well, because Sam
is-
hasn't done anything.
Nothing at all.
And then like she goes all week. She has a pattern. She cleans all week. She's in her weird little funk. Then the night before the eviction, she sits down with Tyler and she says, "What are we gonna do this week?" And it happens every single week. That's her one-time talking game. She says, "What are we gonna do?" And then she goes to the eviction, kind of does her own thing regardless, and then she cries right after every eviction. And it is
consults
every
the person that's
single
been nominated.
week,
Yeah.
and that is her game.
That's
and
like my
it's
game. That would be my game.
infuriating.
That would be
It
my
is-
game if I
it's
went into the
mad.
house. That would be for sure cry every single time someone leaves. That would definitely happen. That's really. I mean, I think still I love Haley, but her revealing herself as a hacker is still just
Yes,
like
the
really
worst
cute, like
move, yep.
the worst move I've ever
Yep.
seen.
Yeah,
I
she's
agree.
not.
That was just.
I
too
mean, I
bad.
give her props because
Unfortunate.
she's playing. Because
Yeah.
I can't give Sam anything,
No, I know.
honestly.
Yeah.
But for the players who are playing, who's the worst? I think Haley
You
is
want to root
right
for
up there.
Haley though. That's the
Yeah.
difference. I mean, at
No,
least for me, you want to root for her, but
I do want to root for her, but I agree. That is the worst. Sam is the worst game player. That was the worst game move.
yeah.
There we go.
Agreed.
Period.
All right, Cameron. Before you go, we have a little segment that we like to call sub letters. These guys, do you guys get it?
Sub-letters?
Sub.
Sublet.
Like subtweet?
Like
No.
sublet, like roommates.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Sublet. Okay. Here's how it works. We're asking former house guests if you could write yourself a letter. Obviously, you don't have a letter, but and send it to yourself in the past before you went into the Big Brother house. What advice would you give yourself?
Ooh,
I guess I would say like take a step back. You just met these people 2.5
Copy.
months ago, or 2 months ago, or wherever they are in their game right now. You're not really gonna care or talk to them outside of this house.
Yeah.
Play to win. You manipulate these people as much as you can and have a good time, because the more fun you're having in the house, the more fun people will have around you, and they'll want to keep you in there. But you would just want to like refresh yourself and be like, even though you're in this house with them all the time, there's life outside of Big Brother. So, and that just little refresher would like give you fire to win the $500,000.
That's great
Yep.
advice. That was really good.
Good
Okay, so then if you had, I know maybe you've already mentioned this to us, but final question: who do you want to win Big Brother?
I love level 6. I love me some level 6, but I want
Really?
Brett to win. Yeah, I love. I'm not a
He's
Fontaine fan.
impassioned by it.
But Brett is my man. I think he's the most entertaining, and he's showed himself to like be strategic enough to like talk with people about certain things that they shouldn't want to talk with him about. He's been cozying up with Haley. He's a serial flirt, and he's trying to gain some leverage with the goodbye messages now. He came in this game not knowing anything. He came in as a newbie, as a recruit, and now he's becoming one of the best players of this house. And I'm just loving the transformation that I'm watching. Yeah, he's great. I love him.
Wow, well, great. I guess Brett has a fan. No, I'm just kidding. I like Brett too. I also really like your headset. Do you play Fortnite with that?
Yeah. Well, no, not Fortnite. PUBG.
I didn't even realize. I was like,
And
he has
Rocket League.
AfterBuzz
Rocket League is
headset.
my game.
Okay, that's a really nice. They're really nice. All right, well, thank you so much, Cameron, for being here. We really appreciate you talking to us.
Hashtag Team Cameron.
Hashtag Team Cameron for forever. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the rest of the season.
Bye, Cameron.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys.
All right.
Wow.
Yes. Interesting
That
stuff.
was really interesting. He has some really good insight.
I'm sorry, he
Yeah.
has great insight, and he should have stayed in that game longer.
All right, Morgan, we know
I'm
you can
just
plug
saying.
your fan club later. All right, Jessica, what do we have
Yes.
going on with the power of Tweeto?
Oh, it's time for the power of Tweeto. And this is where you
Good.
find random tweets that are funny.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. We have
Big Meat. Love me some Big Meat.
She said, I wish Scotty would have slammed the door shut when he left so that I wouldn't need to see JC jumping up and down. First off, that would have been epic. Can
If
you
he would've
imagine?
just
Yeah, 'cause
slammed
it's so
it.
Well, that's what he
shady.
said he was going to do the first
He
time.
was
He's like,
like,
I'm
"No,
leaving.
you don't
I'm not
get to
like
see
letting
it."
the door. I'm not letting the door open. Whatever.
Like, no, you can't see the public. Oh, this one is funny. Mel Brown, Brett lost by 1 second. We possibly would have had a power shift by 1 second, people. And then an infamous New York queen of reality TV. Love that meme. Oh, and then we have, let's see. I'm down here. Interesting plan, Brett. You know, you could also bring her to the final too.
Preach.
Right.
Preach.
Mary is totally talking about the fact that he thinks it's a better idea to serve Angela on a silver platter to the
Yeah, no.
jury instead of, actually getting rid of her.
Right.
And then we have James, one of our faves. He was
Oh.
like, hey, they're struggling for content, it seems. And that may be around that awkward time at the
Yes.
end where they're like, okay, Julie's like, yeah. So,
Casey,
next
how do
week,
you
yeah,
feel?
how do you
Yeah.
feel?
Who do you want your
Yeah.
letter from? And Casey's like, my family.
They're like, stretch it, Julie.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Keep tweeting. We may see you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Big Brother's watching.
And then,
Okay, us.
real quickly, we were going to talk about this with Tyler. There was a little bit of a stipulation with the HOH last week, and
Yes.
also this
Talk
week.
about it. Ooh.
All right.
Also this week they had time that there's like that maybe he cheated someone, like someone tweeted someone,
Which is interesting.
Yeah,
So
let
if
us
you
know.
guys are in the chat, I have a screenshot. So Scotty's family is running his Twitter account, and they tweeted a photo. We have it right here, and they said, according to Casey, both feet had to stay on the platform or you were disqualified. Why wasn't Tyler disqualified? And then it's the 10:03 p.m. timestamp. And so I read about this on Reddit, and apparently, so he was in the background, so you couldn't see him on the big TV screen. So I guess they caught a glimpse of him for like 1 second, and he was pulling himself up to readjust. Both feet came on and came off, and then went straight back on. But the question is, I mean, I guess producers are watching. There's cameras everywhere, so they obviously saw it. But there was a big debate. A lot of people said that he should have been disqualified. But at the end of the day, I also read kind of like a counter argument, and say he had fallen and there was other level 6 up there, they would have fought harder. So it wouldn't have meant that Haley automatically won had he dropped.
No, I
No.
disagree. Number one, this is like real evidence for the first time. I mean, people have speculated about CBS being behind Tyler from all this stuff, the other show that he was on, all this kind of stuff, his Power app that lasted 2 months. But this is a real debate. Like, there's proof and evidence. It's not speculation. And I disagree. Haley held her own for a long time, and all of the rest of level 6 dropped. So I think that if Tyler would have been disqualified, Haley would have won that HOH. It is not fair, but what do you do about it? That's the thing. Like, how can you make up?
you remedy?
Right. So and I feel like with production, it's like if they did notice it late, it almost would have maybe looked bad had they let it go that long and be like, like we missed that, and like we should have done something we didn't, but it's kind of too late now. But I don't know. It's very interesting because it is a blatant, like, you can see both feet off the platform. So
I would be fighting. I don't know. What do you do? Bring in attorneys? No, this is an argument I would literally be like, hey,
Bring in attorneys.
What do you do?
Scotty's family's gonna sue.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed if I was Scotty's
I would
family.
be
Yes, if I was
furious.
Haley's family too.
Yeah.
She could have won this, and then things would have been differently. And now
Very
I'm sad.
different.
I really like your point counterpoint going on here. That was really
We
good.
should be
I like
lawyers.
that. You should.
New show.
Okay, so let's get into really quickly predictions. Are we gonna-
AfterBuzz TV.
Oh, usually we have something.
Your
there we go.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I was gonna do it.
All right, so double eviction next week, everybody.
Yes,
double
finally.
eviction. So really quickly, who do you think is going to go in the double? Two people. Who do you want to go?
I think it's gonna be Haley and Sam on the block. I think Haley's gonna go on. I think Haley's gonna go because I think
Okay.
she's the one who's like outside of the alliance the most. I don't know for this. It really depends who wins HOH.
Well, who do you want to go?
Who do I want to go? I kind of want someone from level 6. Like I love level 6, but I want to see some change. And
Yeah.
I feel like if it's not one of them, we're just gonna get Sam out, and it's
Yeah.
like
It's
boring.
boring.
So
I honestly think that there's a chance that Haley could stay
agree.
because
I
Casey's on
agree.
the block. She already forged this interesting cuddle connection with Haley, and then you have Angela, who's Casey's next, partner in crime, who doesn't like Sam at all, who's so annoyed with Sam. But then you have Tyler that has the final two with Casey, and she may say,
That's
he
what
may
I'm
say,
thinking.
keep
All
Sam
right,
around.
who do you want to go then? So it's double eviction.
Okay, so who
slate's
I
clean.
want, in this case, I want Sam to go because
Okay.
clearly one of them are going to go. I feel like Haley has a chance of winning Power of Veto. And then the next week, I would love for Brett or Casey to win and then send Angela out.
Oh,
that would be
yeah.
good. That would
Okay.
be good.
Okay, I think that I'm going to go out on a limb. I think that Haley's going to stay, so I want Sam to go, and then I think it's going to be JC. I just have a weird
Interesting.
feeling I think JC's
Who
going to
would,
go.
who would have to win HOH for that to happen?
I think Angela or maybe Haley.
Yeah, I think if Angela wins HOH, she'll send JC home.
Yeah, I
You think
think.
Haley would target JC?
I mean, who else would she target?
Everybody else in the house? Like, what
I
do
don't
you
think
mean?
I think she's too afraid to target Tyler, and she's too afraid unless I don't know. Maybe in the double eviction, if she won HOH, it may be
She would
different.
take a shot.
She could take
She
a
would
shot,
take
but
a
that
shot
would
at
be
Tyler.
a lot. She'd have a lot of explaining to do after that. So I
But
don't
think
know.
about it,
Put up
that would be
someone
her
else,
game-winning
yeah.
move. That would be my
For sure,
explanation.
for
Put
sure.
up Tyler and
for sure.
Angela, boom.
Yeah, take them out. I don't know.
I'm
I don't
excited
know.
now.
All right, that's it for us, guys. We will be back here next week. Follow us along throughout Twitter, or throughout the week on Twitter, not throughout Twitter, because we're not everywhere. Where we're monitoring your comments, questions, concerns. Let us know what you think of this show or how we look. Hit us up using hashtag BB20. Thank you to Cameron. You can follow Cameron at CameronHurd210. Thank you so much. We will see you next week. For now, let's go with our goodbyes. Jessica, take it away.
Bye, guys. I'm Jessica Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica Williams and Miss Jessica WW, and on Instagram at Miss Jessica Williams.
And guys, it's Morgan Willett. You can follow me on Twitter at Morgan_Willett, Instagram at Morgan Lee Willett. And sadly, I'm taking a little hiatus. I'm gonna miss everyone so much, but don't worry, you'll hear from me.
I didn't think you were going to
very-
tell everybody on air.
Yeah.
I
It's
guess
gonna
I
be
could have
sad.
said that. Well, y'all
I'm just
can. Will
kidding.
y'all bring like a stick figure of my head?
Yeah, we'll have to do
All right,
that.
cool. I'll be here in
We'll take the
spirit, but
pictures today.
taking a little break. But I'll be back.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that being said, I guess I won't be here next week either, so you'll be by yourself.
But
Jessica.
Charles is bad.
Yeah.
We'll have
You'll
some
have a
fabulous
good.
people.
They'll have a great show. The double eviction will be awesome. Okay, from outside.
Turtle.
Yeah. Wait, who?
Turtle.
Oh, Turtle. From outside the Big Brother house and inside AfterBuzz TV studios, I'm Bryce McLeay. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bryce Advice. Good night.
Night, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.